What's up, kids? How are y'all doing? Am I the most excited person on stage right now? What's going on here? Are you guys ready to have some fun? Have you been having fun? How much fun? Somebody in the back went, sure. All right. Guys, I'm so excited to be here. Thank you very much. My name is Erik Swanson. I'm an international speaker, best-selling author, and a success attitude coach. Whew. I know. And they call me Mr. Awesome. Now, I gotta tell you, I didn't name myself. It's not self-proclaimed, I know. Can you imagine? I'm like, yeah, I'm Mr. Awesome, how you doing? Actually, a great friend of ours and a motivational speaker, inspirational speaker, you might know this gentleman. His name is Les Brown. If anyone knows Les Brown, you know this guy's amazing. And he and I were going to an event one time, and we got out of our cars, and he looked over, he heard me speak one time before, and said, Mr. Awesome. And he named that to me. Whenever Les Brown names you Mr. Awesome, you know what you do? You market the heck out of that as much as you possibly can, right? But I got to tell you something. I got to be super straightforward and honest with you about something. And this is a little tough. Take a little breath here to tell you. I was not always this awesome. I know. I wasn't. I had to learn to be pretty amazing and pretty awesome. And I noticed that there'd been let me ask you a question. Let me pose this as a question. Have you noticed in the world today that there seems to be a tiny bit of negativity? Just a little bit, okay? I mean, I travel around so much, and I see it so many different locations. It's crazy. Like, even people who find that something nice happened to them or some great things, they'll find that negative spin on it. Have you met that person before? You know, it's like, you just won $1 million, and they're like, yeah, but taxes, right? Something like that. It's amazing how many people do this. And I got to be honest, I was like this. Nowadays I get up in the morning and I say, good morning, God, instead of what I used to say, good God, it's morning. So I decided I had enough, okay? I had enough of other people's attitudes. How many of y'all know somebody with an attitude? Yes? How many of y'all live with somebody with it? And don't raise your hands there. Please do not put your hand down, sir. Thank you. In the back. Is that your wife? That's fantastic. All right. But wouldn't it be great to be able to just walk down to a coffee shop, and go into Starbucks or whatever and say, just go right up to the counter and say, I would like a grande cup of awesome, please. Actually, make that a venti. And can you make it a little non-fat this time? That'd be great. And they're like, sure, that's $29. I'm like, that seems about right. Yeah, that sounds great. So it would be fantastic to be able to do that. But sometimes we can't do that. We need to look internally. We need to surround ourselves, though, with people who are going to uplift you. Isn't that correct? How many of us are surrounding ourselves with people who are just not there and not present and not supporting others? So I set out on a journey to change first my attitude and hopefully others as well. Now, I learned something, though, that I needed to change within. A lot of people try to change from outside in rather than inside out. And instead, I decided to change that completely. I set out on this journey, and I was going to go ahead and master my attitude. And my attitude I was going to do for the rest of my life was awesome. And that's why this speech is called A Dose of Awesome. How many of you know somebody that could use a little bit of awesomeness? A little dose of awesome, yeah. So I like to share some ideas, but it's interesting that you need to work within first and then help others as well. Now, there's an ancient Chinese proverb that says, don't chase butterflies. Rather, build a garden that attracts butterflies. That's awesome. It's so cool. Thank you. Thank you. See you later. Hey, what did you get from Erik Swanson's talk? Well, this Chinese proverb, I got to tell you, that was the best part of his speech. But it's true. So my question to you today, in the next little bit I have time with you, is would you like to build a garden of awesome with me? Is that okay? Excellent. Let's do it. So what I'd like to do is share 3 components of being awesome. And this, when you be awesome here, then you can be awesome out there as well. And people will respond in kind. Like when I go into coffee shops, I don't even drink coffee, by the way. I don't. I go there just to meet people, just to get out there, just to say hello. And I did this as a test. I walked into some coffee shops, and instead of going to the actual, line to order your drink, I would just take a left and go to the condiment area, the creamers, sugars, and so forth, and I would just high five somebody right next to me. And they're like, "What did you have?" I'm like, "Nothing yet." So my first idea for you is to decide to be awesome. Actually decide. Literally make a conscious decision that you are going to be awesome every single day. Now, I'll tell you something. I woke up one morning, I was in one of my homes, and I looked over at this mirror that I had in my bedroom that's like a ceiling. It's one of these really cool Art Deco mirrors from ceiling to floor. And I looked at it, and I went like this. Not good. Oof, I was a little overweight. Oh my God. I was a little overweight. And I was like, this has got to go. So I got rid of the mirror. Gone. True story. But instead of that, I realized maybe I shouldn't get rid of the mirror. I should actually not get upset at the reflection that I'm reflecting to it. Isn't that right? And how many of us do that? We say, I want to be awesome, yet you're like, oh, let me complain about this. And you're complaining about traffic. I look at traffic and go, oh my gosh, look at this traffic. I can't wait till they stop so I can say hi. It's just a different way of looking at it. So I decided to use something called the 60-second morning mirror. And what I do every morning, I vow to myself now to use this. Every single morning, I get up and I go to the mirror of success, and I'm brushing my teeth. And as I'm brushing my teeth, I take 60 seconds to have a chat with myself, have a little conversation. And I say, I am the best. I am focused. I will succeed. I believe in myself. I set high expectations. I don't let others bring me down. How many of y'all could use just one of those ideas right there? And have that conversation with yourself. Pump yourself up before you get out there in life, right? And then before you leave, high five the mirror. Have you ever high fived a mirror before? You never fail. It's amazing. It's awesome. So you'll have the best day, right? So have the 60-second morning mirror. The other thing is incorporate what I call the 30 list. And the 30 list is this. Sometimes we need to prove it to ourselves that we are pretty awesome. So what I do is I take a blank piece of paper and I write down 30 reasons why someone should surround themselves with me. Someone should surround themselves with the mission that we have. Someone should work with me as my company. Or how many of you all are entrepreneurs and business owners and doctors that deliver babies? Wow, the first presenter, wow. She delivered Josh, by the way. That was awesome. True story. He's like, thank you. So anyway, all right, So the 30 list, what we need to do is prove it to yourself that you're awesome, that you're amazing. And then someone will come up to you and say, well, why should I work with you? Why should I? They're not going to say it out loud, but that's what they're thinking, aren't they? Why should I work with you? And you go number 17 because just don't give them the numbers, right? But commit to yourself before you commit to somebody else. It's a fantastic idea that I incorporate every single morning. The second idea that I have for you is look for opportunities and seek out these opportunities to allow other people to shine, that you can help them be awesome. And what I do is I have something where I call it the high five strangers by noon. This is literally what I do. Oh, and there's so many people here and hard to see, but just raise your hands. How many of y'all have high-fived somebody today? Let me see, raise your hands. Pretty much, oh, how many of y'all high-fived me? Let me see, all of you guys. Walked into that one, didn't I? Yeah. I think I was at the door high-fiving you all the way in, right? Yeah. So what I do is this. I high-five 5 strangers by noon. I do this in every single city that I'm in, no matter where I travel, except New York City. I don't really do it there anymore. But But one of the ideas, actually, I'll tell you a story. I went into motor vehicles. How many of y'all like motor vehicles? I didn't think so. So I walked into motor vehicles to go get one of my license plate plaques on my car. So I had to go there to pick it up, and it was a vanity plaque and so forth. So I go there to go pick it up. Now, I walk in, and I'm all like, I'm Mr. Awesome, right? So here I am walking in, right? I'll give you the visual. I'm like, yeah. I look to the right, and there's nobody here. I'm like, this is great. Motor vehicles, right? You guys got me with it? And there's two people at this table pointing this way. They're like, go that way. I'm like looking there. I'm like, oh, no. There was like 75, 80 people in this line. That was another line for another line, okay? So I'm like, oh, no. What am I going to do? So I have two choices. What are they? Either leave or stay. Yeah, make the best of it. So I made the best of it. So here's what I did. I turned to here, and I grabbed my phone. I was trying to check messages. Nothing was working in the building. So I'm like, what am I going to do? So here's what I did. Watch this. I had an idea. This is me having an idea. What? He high-fived me. That's awesome. I have another idea. What? Pass it on. So he did. It went all the way down this aisle, back and forth. It went everywhere, guys. It was awesome. I was so excited about this. I was so excited to get my own high five back. Have you ever gotten your own high five back in a high five line? It's awesome, guys. I'm waiting for it. So watch this. I'm waiting, and it's coming around. And guess what? I feel this shrug on my shoulder on the left-hand side. I look to my left. Have you ever met somebody who just looks really mean? This is the lady, okay? She was like this. She was like looking at me like this, and arms crossed, right? And I think she was tapping her foot. And she goes, is that you who started this high five line? I looked around trying to blame it on somebody. It didn't work. So I was like, yes, I believe that is. She goes, well, stop doing it. She says, this is motor vehicles. It's supposed to be negative. I was like, are you serious? And she said, actually, I'm kidding. I actually wanted a high five, do it low so the cameras don't see it, all right? And she high-fived me. I was like, this is awesome. She goes, what are you here for? I said, well, I'm here to pick up my plates. They say, wait a minute. Are you Mr. Awesome? She goes, we've been waiting for you. And I said, yeah. She goes, tell you what, go down this hallway, give me your license, and I'll get it for you. And pretend you're going to the restroom over there or something like that. I was in and out of motor vehicles in 8 minutes flat, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, I know. So I'm telling you, don't use that technique for evil. Use it for good, okay? So who can you high five? Now, the third and final idea I have for you, one second. Third and final idea I have for you is to remember, check this out, remember to pee every day. Yeah, you might want to write that down. By the way, P is spelled P-E-A, which stands for be positive, be energetic, and be what? Awesome. I'd like to share a story with you about this. So, the story goes, I wanted to get into a university, and I was so excited about getting in this university. My grades did not want me to get in this university, okay? So there was a little disconnection there. But I really wanted to get in. So I decided to figure out a way to get in. And my friend in high school says, well, you know, the dean's son he goes to school with us. It's David. I'm like, oh my gosh, I need to be friends with David now. So I didn't know David. That's the only problem. So I was like, I got to get friends with him. So I walked over, and David's like a jock, okay? And I'm walking over, and I'm listening to him, and David's talking about something with a bunch of buddies of his. He's talking about like skiing or something. So I just started yelling things out in the hallway in high school, going, I love skiing. Skiing's awesome. And he's like, didn't pay attention to me. So I said it again. I'm like, skiing's my friend. You know, I'm just like yelling things out so he can pay attention. Finally, he looks over and goes, I'm sorry, what'd you say, Eric? I said, oh, I love skiing. I was just talking to myself. And he goes, wow, it's so weird that you're talking about skiing. We were just talking about that. I'm like, no way, really? He says, well, are you good? And I said, yeah, I'm awesome. He says, oh, I didn't realize you were that good. Why don't you come with us? We're going to do, I thought he said salmon dinner, 7 o'clock at night, next Wednesday. A bunch of them are getting together, and they're going to go skiing, but they're having dinner first. I'm like, done, I'm there, okay, yeah. So I left, and now what I have to do is I need to go get some skis, okay, because I don't own skis. Are you guys skiers at all here in Houston, Sugarland, Texas? One, okay, got it, excellent. Fantastic, all right. So skiing here, it's like, whew, it's hot out here. All right, so I go over and I get these skis, and I went to Swiss Chalet to go get them. Now, Swiss Chalet on Wilson Road in Burlington, Vermont area, if you know the area. So I go up and I'm looking at these skis, and the clerk's like, "What, are you good?" And I said, "Yeah, I'm awesome." He goes, "Oh, you're in the wrong section." So we walk over here, we get these expert skis. I'm like, "Oh man, just pick them out." I had no idea what I was doing, all right? So he picks them out, he gets these poles. The poles are broken, by the way. They were bent, and they didn't have the straps at all. I don't know why. Apparently they were racing poles, didn't know that at the time. Then he gets me some goggles and so forth. So here I'm the snowman walking up to the top of the hill. I'm going to meet David and his friends. I got to get into this school. You all with me on this? So here, let's do this. Bring that up here. I'm going to literally take you on this journey for a second before my time's up. So I get out up to the top of the room, the slopes, and David's there. And David says, "Oh, good, you're here. David, Coach David." Eric, excuse me. David was introducing me. And I'm like, "Coach?" I shook his hand. I go, "What do you mean? Is that a nickname?" He goes, "I heard you were a joker. Get up. You're up first." I'm up first? Remember salmon dinner? I was wrong. It was slalom. They're going to dinner, but then did I tell you the story is actually titled, "The Time I Joined the Vermont Ski Team Without Knowing I Was Joining the Vermont Ski Team." So I figured, just like in DMV, right? What am I going to do? Two choices, either leave or go. What's the worst thing that can happen? I'm up first, fine, slalom in Vermont, icy, big deal. What's the worst thing that can happen? Well, I could die. Good point, yeah. So instead, I decide, you know what? I'm just going to do it. I'm going to do it. You guys ready? I'm going to do it. Let's do it. I'm getting nervous right now, but I'm going to do it. Got my goggles here. Got my broken poles. There's a couple divots there. I'm going to put them there. Perfect. David's over there. Don't like David now. Coach is there too. It's fantastic. This is going to be fun. Okay, I'm going to take 3 breaths. There's a light system here, green, red, yellow, and then there's a thing going across. Are you guys with me on this? I'm like joining this slalom team, and I have no idea what I'm doing. So I decide I'm going to do it. Here we go. What's the worst thing that can happen? Poles are there, goggles here. 3 breaths, I'm in, right? I do 33, 3 in and 3 out. That's what I do. Everyone take a breath, 3 seconds in, 3 seconds out. That's the way I do it. I did it 3 times. The 3rd time I did something like this. And I don't recommend doing this. This is what I did though. I went like this. I went, and I fogged up my goggles when I put them on. And then I decided to do one of these. And I left both of the poles at the top of the hill with no straps on them. And I was like, from the down on the bottom, the slope, people on the slopes were like, "Oh my God, look at this expert." Because I look like this. I look like, "Woo, who needs poles? What's happening? Oh, windshield wipers," right? But in reality, I was like this. "Where are my poles?" I was going down like this. I was hitting things. One of my poles went over my shoulder and beat my time. And I got down. I finally got down to the bottom of in a few pieces, but I got down. I did it, guys. And David's there. I don't know how he beat me. Weren't you just up there? Twin brother or something. He looks at me and he goes, "Oh my God, you're awesome." He goes, "You need to join the Vermont ski team." I was in so much shock. I said, "Sure, done." And I left and I joined. But my point to you is this: be courageous and share awesomeness out there. And if I wasn't guaranteed and committing myself to be awesome, I wouldn't have made it into that school that I was looking at getting into. So take this and high five some strangers and be awesome. Thank you very much. You got it.